is coming.
All these voices. All these voices.
They're mine. They're not yours. You had no right to them when you were alive, and you have no right to them when you're dead. You say Hershey. That's what it sounded like. Good, you know who I am. And you know I'm not playing. You're going to let those women go. In Jesus' name, you're going to let those women go.
Is there a demon here watching us right now? Or just watching us right now?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Staring into the Abyss. I am your host, horror author James Hershey Jr., and with me, as always, is my co-host, old boy James Ash. How you doing, brother?
Thank you, brother, and good evening, and Happy New Year's, guys. The New Year.
Tonight's episode is going to be a doozy. Grifters and liars and fakes. Oh my. That's what y'all want to see. We always ask you, let us know what you want to see, and we'll work a show up for you. And we've gotten a lot of messages wanting us to address several different things. We're going to kind of put them all into one show. They wanted us to address the grifters, the people that are just kind of doing this for money, trying to rip people off. The fakes, the people that are pretending, and the liars, people that are faking evidence and lying about what they're doing and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to do that this episode. It's going to be controversial. Some people are going to get pissed, but we're going to try not to be too mean. Okay? I'm not in the habit of trying to pick fights with people and all that kind of stuff. So you're not going to see a whole lot of calling people out on this episode, but you will see some of it in a general sense. So let's start first with the grifters. The grifters are the people that are, and before I start this, let me say that a lot of these kind of go hand in hand with each other. A lot of times when someone's a grifter, they're also a fake, or they're also a liar. When they're a fake or a liar, they're usually doing it for money, so they're a grifter as well. So they're all going to kind of mesh together, but we'll try to kind of separate them out a little bit and cover several different things. First are the grifters, the people that are just milking you for your cash. Okay? I'll say right off the bat, we do not charge to help people. No reputable, seasoned, good paranormal investigators are usually going to charge you. Usually when people are trying to charge you a bunch of money to come in your home and to help you out when you're having problems, those people are not experienced people. Those people don't know what the hell they're doing, usually, okay, in a general sense. Most times the people that are experienced and know what they're doing it for one of two reasons, or both reasons. One is because they're called by God to do it. They're hooked up with the church, and they're going in there as a ministry almost to battle demons and to battle evil forces and to help people. And that's what their calling is. So they're doing God's work, so we're not going to charge for that, okay? The second group is the people that are going in there for research purposes, okay? They might not even be Christians. They might not even believe God exists, but they know that there's something out there. There's some sort of afterlife, and they're trying to investigate it in order to research to find out what the hell it is and get as much information as humanly possible. Okay, those people are also not going to charge you because they are very eager. They're very happy to have the opportunity to research, because it's not like you can just do this anywhere. Okay, it's not like if you want to research something that is bad, okay, something that is dangerous, something that is next level. It's not like you can just go down the street and do it. You know, these things occur in certain places, and when you have the opportunity to go in and study something that is high powered, that's doing bad things to people, usually you're pretty stoked about that. Not for the people, it sucks for them, but you're stoked at the opportunity to research. And so they don't charge either. Okay, the people that are going to charge you to come into your home and help you are the people that have watched, a couple seasons of Ghost Adventures and think they know what the hell they're doing. And the only thing that's going to happen when you allow those people into your home, and believe me, I'm speaking from experience here, because we have cleaned up the messes of other investigators, quote unquote investigators, people who claim to be paranormal investigators, who go in there and they just make things worse. One down in Orange County that we were doing actually brought something to the home so that people were actually worse off after he left than they were before. Not only did they have the original ghost of the ex that was there, that was causing havoc and being a pain in the butt, but you also had this other evil thing that the paranormal investigator brought there, because they don't know what they're doing and they don't know how to properly protect themselves or to close anything out or to make sure that nothing follows them from a location. So they're literally going from location to location to location, and they're even going to places like name places, okay? And that you would have to pay to get into, that has next level stuff in it, and they're bringing all that stuff with them, attached to them, and they're depositing it in people's homes because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Okay, we've actually cleaned up that mess several times when that's happened to people. So a lot of times that's what you're going to get when you bring in some of these people that don't know what the hell they're doing, is you're going to get extra stuff, extra baggage that you didn't have before. So not only are they not going to be able to help you with the original problem, but also you've got more than you had before. And a lot of times a lot more dangerous than you had before. Okay? Another facet of grifters are all these damn psychics and tarot card reading idiots on TikTok and all these other social media sites. Okay? Now, I'm not saying psychics do not exist. Okay? But they're a lot rarer than it appears, according to social media. Okay? The majority of these people that are on TikTok reading tarot cards and giving psychic readings where they're charging you an arm and a leg to read cards for you or to tell your future or any of this other nonsense that they're doing, the majority of those people are full of crap. All you're doing is wasting your money when you're giving it to a lot of these people. And that's going to piss people off, okay? Because there's a lot of people that make their living doing this nonsense. And they're not going to be happy that somebody's calling them out. But see, the problem is everybody's afraid to say something, okay? Because everybody's afraid they're going to be canceled in the paranormal community. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do that because if I call these people out, then they're all going to gang up on me. I don't care about that. You can't cancel me. I don't give a damn, okay? I could go the rest of my life without ever making another buck off this, and I'll be fine, okay? Nobody owes me nothing. I don't owe nobody nothing. I don't rely on anybody for anything. So you cannot cancel me. You cannot shut me up. If I want to say something, I'm going to say it. And it doesn't matter what they think. Okay? So I'm telling you right now, the majority of these people are full of crap. And while we're on the subject of the psychics, let's get into the fakes and the liars. Okay, the other part of this little pyramid that we got going on here. The fake psychics fit into all of them. They're grifting you for money. They're fake. They do not possess gifts. And they're lying to you. Okay? Now, this doesn't only apply to the people that are charging you money for psychic readings and to do your tarot cards and all that. A lot of these supposed psychics that are on a lot of these paranormal teams are full of crap. I have literally known people that I have investigated with before and that I've worked with that have never had any gifts. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, they're psychic. All of a sudden, the spirits are telling me. They know the future. They can tell me everything about this house. We had one that we worked with that was actually on a team when I first joined up with this one team that claimed to be a psychic and a medium and all this stuff. And we would go on an investigation. And the way we usually would do our investigations back then is we would do research on the house, on the land, on the area, and get as much information factually that we could on events that took place there, people that died there, all that kind of stuff, the past history of the home, the past history of the area, so that we would have an idea what we might be dealing with. Okay, then the psychic would go in, totally separate from that process, to where she had no idea what we had researched or what we knew. She would go in cold, not even knowing what the location was. We would just take her there and she would walk the place. And then she would tell us what she saw and what she picked up. And if it matched up with the history stuff that we did, then we would kind of have a correlation there. And we'd say, okay, maybe there is something to this. Maybe that's what this is, because she's saying she's seeing this and the research says that this took place in his home. So it's a very good chance that that's what it is. Now, we were doing that years and years and years ago. We don't really do that anymore. That kind of got made popular with the dead files and all that kind of stuff. But that is a technique that a lot of teams used to use back in the day. But anyway, this chick would go in and she would walk the house and oh, I see this and I see that. I see a Civil War soldier who's in this situation and he died here, or there's a slave. One famous one was she went in and said, I see slave quarters right here and all this, blah, 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 right? Well, when you research the house was built in the 50s. The land absolutely never had slaves on it. It was woods, man. All up until the 50s, it was nothing but a forest, basically. There was nothing but deep, deep woods there. There was no homes. And then they was cleared out. In the 50s, they built a home there, and it's the only home that was ever built on the site. But yet she saw slave quarters, and she saw these slaves being, they're being treated so badly and so poorly, and they were whipping them, and they were doing all this horrible stuff to them. And the slaves were trying to get back at the masters. They were messing with them and trying to down with the white man and all that crap, right? That's what she's telling us that she sees. Total BS, man. Total absolute garbage. Not true. The research proved no slaves were ever on that land. At least no slave quarters or anything like that were ever on that land. Maybe a slave walked through there one day. I don't know. I don't know the entire history of the woods to where that particular tree never had a slave walk by, but I know there was never slave quarters there. I know there was never a plantation there. I know that none of the stuff she said was true. Okay? And you have a lot of that going on, where you have these people that are full of garbage, man. They're pretending to be psychics. They're pretending that they know something they don't know, just to make themselves look better, or to look cool, or to be somebody. And you might say, well, James, why do you care, dude? Why do you care if these people are faking? How does it affect you? What do you give a damn? They're not your cases. You don't have to deal with those people. Well, here's why I care, because when you have a fake psychic that's spreading nonsense like that, and you have a team going in there, and usually when you have a fake psychic like that, you're going to have a team that's not as experienced. And then what happens is you have an inexperienced team being led by a fake psychic. So the information that they're given to try to help these people is wrong. So let's take the example that I was talking about, where you had this chick talking about slave quarters that didn't ever existed. So you go in thinking what you have is the spirit, the angry spirit of an ex-slave. And they're looking for revenge. Okay, they're looking for some sort of appeasement for wrongs that they feel were done to them. So you're going in there thinking that's what you're dealing with, because that's what your psychic is telling you. Although it's complete and total nonsense. That's not what's going on at all. So you're communicating, trying to help, trying to make this spirit give up whatever grudge it has against these people, right? But whatever you're dealing with there doesn't have a grudge because of them being a slave, because they were never a slave. You see what I'm saying? The information you have that you're going on is wrong. So there's no way you're going to help those people. You're not ever going to be able to figure out what you're doing and what you're actually dealing with if you don't have a good set of data going in. So that's the problem I have with it. So then those people are harmed. So then either somebody like us has to come in behind you and actually solve the issue, or those people are completely turned off of the paranormal completely, and they don't ask for anybody's help. And then they just suffer until they end up dead or something. All right? That's the problem that I have with it. And you have that over and over and over again taking place, where you have these people going off of bad information because the psychics are lying to them because they're full of crap. They're not actual psychics. Okay? Now, you might say, well, why would somebody do something like that? Man, that's horrible. I agree with you. It sucks. People do that because people feel small. They want to be important. They want somebody to think that they matter. So instead of being content in their life and what they're doing and the purpose that God has for them on this planet, everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be a celebrity. Everybody wants to be looked at as, oh, wow, you know that guy? That's so cool, right? So they do underhanded crap like that. They pretend to be something they're not. They lie. And people get hurt. And that's the problem I have with it, is people get hurt. There's absolutely no reason that you should be pretending to be a psychic if you're not a psychic. If you want to try to be a paranormal investigator and get famous, then get with somebody who knows what they're doing and learn how to do it. And then do your thing, man. If you end up getting a TV show, great. I'm happy for you. Now, while we're on the subject of the TV shows, because the TV shows are a big part of the problem. You have people that sit at home that watch this stuff, and they get addicted to it, man. They just watch all of it. They love it. And then they think they're paranormal investigators. And the problem is they're not being presented with an accurate representation of what the job actually is. And in a lot of cases, and I'm sure when old boy talks, he'll say that he's not going to say it's fake, but I'll say a lot of it is fake. I know a lot of it is fake. I've talked to some of those people, and I know that they fake things. Because you got a producer for the network saying, nothing's happening. We got to make something happen. Somebody go over there and knock off camera. Make it sound like the knock happened. Look, hey, why don't we roll a ball off screen and have it roll across the frame? And oh my God, a ghost pushed the ball. Those kind of things happen all the time. Okay? So even in the best case scenario, when you're watching a show that is 100% showing you things that actually happened and not faking anything, even in that best case scenario, what you still have is you still have 8, 10, 12 hours, maybe days worth of investigating. Sometimes way more than that. And it's all edited down to about an hour or a half hour, depending on the show. So all you're getting is these little clips, these little glimpses of what happened. Okay, you see that here on my channel as well on Tales. When we do Tales, I don't show you the full 12 hours we were there or 14 hours we were there or 3 days we were there because you'd be bored out of your damn mind. I show you the things that actually happened. Okay? But understand, I'm telling you that for each hour-long episode of Tales or half-hour episode of Tales or 20-minute video I put out on Tales Shorts or whatever, for each one of those, you're looking at 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 hours, 2 days, 3 days, a week, a month worth of investigating. And what you're seeing is just kind of a best of the investigation. These are the things that actually happened. Okay? But you don't see the hour and a half in between things that happened where we're just sitting there talking and getting no responses. Because that happens. Sometimes you go on an investigation and you get nothing at all. Like the whole investigation, nothing. So you have nothing to show. So then it never airs. But you don't get to see that. You don't get to see that. So you think watching one of those TV shows, well, all I got to do is just say these things and then this thing will answer. So then you go in there and you start talking to, let's say, a Phasma box or a spirit box of some type, whether it's an Oculus or it's an app or whatever you're using, right? There's a bunch of different ones. And basically the way a lot of those work, they're sound generators, man. They're phonetic sound generators. They take phonetic sounds and the spirits are able to use energy to play those sounds in any order they want. So they're able to generate words using those. Okay, and you have other ones that are not phonetic sound generators. They they scroll through like a radio band. And you can do it in reverse, you can do it forwards, backwards, whatever you want, right? So it'll every couple seconds, that's what that sound is. It's moving through a band, a radio band. And you're getting little sounds. And sometimes you'll get words, snippets of words. And the theory is that spirits can manipulate that using energy in order to form words and sentences and talk to you, right? But you do have words that just pop up that don't mean anything. So they'll be sitting there talking to this box, and all of a sudden it'll say, statue. And they'll say, oh, was there a statue in the thing? And is that what you're mad about? We have to find a statue? You see what I'm saying? You got to be able to distinguish the nonsense from what's actually going on. You have to do that by having a multi-tier approach to an investigation. You got to do your research on the history. You got to get a good case study of what's going on with the people. You got to talk to them. You got to find out if they have a history or a family history of mental illness, because that plays into it. You have to find out if there's anything going on. If they're hearing like knocks or bangs or doors slamming, check the house. Could be they got an old furnace that's knocking, and that's what they're hearing. Could be that there's a window downstairs that's open that's creating a cross breeze that's slamming a door. Okay, there are rational explanations for a lot of these things. And a lot of times on an investigation, there is a rational explanation for what's taking place. You can't discount that stuff. That should be the first thing you're looking for, is a reasonable, rational, scientific explanation for what's taking place. The very last thing you should be looking at is that it's paranormal. If you cannot explain it in any other way, then it might be paranormal. See what I'm saying? But these people, they don't look at it as an actual investigation. They are going there to talk to ghosts. So right away, that's the first thing that they think of. And they don't ever try to disprove any of it. They don't actually do any investigating. So what could be simply, like I said, a furnace knocking, or one we did, there was doors that were slamming down in the basement all the time. And when we actually checked it, one of the windows, one of those little tiny windows that are kind of up in the wall in the basement that kind of angle out like that, they were open. And what was happening was a breeze was going through the basement, and it was causing the door to shut. So what they would hear upstairs when the wind was blowing was the door slamming. Now that had a perfectly rational explanation. And once we shut that window, guess what? No more door slamming. But a team going in that doesn't actually investigate, that doesn't have the real experience, they're not going to check that. So they're going to right away start talking on a box, trying to figure out what monster is there, what demon is there, what ghost is there. And they might get some random nonsense words that come across the band, especially if they're using one of those cheap ones that kind of just scroll the radio band. So you're going to get words on those that don't mean anything. But they're going to hear those words, and they're going to jump to the conclusion that there's something there that's talking to them. You also have some of these fake apps that people use that just randomly generate words. And it'll say like driveway, house, ghost, beer can, refrigerator, just random words. And they'll take each one of those words and try to weave a narrative, a story of what's actually happening at the place. And they never checked to see if there was a rational explanation for it. So that's another issue that happens. And that comes with experience. So basically what I'm saying, watch out for a lot of these things. If you're having an issue and you need somebody to help you, get somebody that is reputable. Get somebody that you know they have experience doing it. Don't just get somebody who watched every episode of Ghost Adventures and now is a paranormal investigator. You see what I'm saying? So that covers the fake psychics. That covers these fake paranormal investigators who are just basically fanboys and fangirls of the paranormal, and they want to be involved, okay? No problem with you being involved, man. If you're interested in the paranormal and you want to help people and you want to do the job, cool. Get with somebody who knows what they're doing, learn it, and then go help people. I'm not trying to keep anybody out of the paranormal at all. All I'm trying to say is, if somebody's asking you for money to help them, that's a red flag. If somebody comes into a paranormal investigation and they don't get a history, they don't ask you any real questions, they don't do an interview with you first and get a case history and find out what's going on, if they haven't researched the property and the house, red flag. If they come in right away and don't clear the house and just set up equipment and start talking, red flag. Because that's another thing that happens. You'll have a bunch of people in the house goofing off, and they're sitting there trying to do an investigation, and they're hearing walking and footsteps. Well, of course they are, because there's 3 people upstairs walking around. They're hearing voices off in the other room. Oh, there's a voice over there. Yeah, because the TV's on in the other room, because Grandma's still in the damn house. Because you didn't clear the house. Red flag. Okay? If somebody comes in there claiming to be a psychic, but they don't know anything, red flag. Okay? There's a lot of red flags you got to watch out for. You got to be careful. And it's not just because they might rip you off, but also because if you're dealing with something that's real, that's attacking your family and harming you, and you're relying on some of these knuckleheads to help you, you're screwed. I'm sorry, there's no other way to say it. You're going to be screwed because they're not going to be able to help you. They don't know what the hell they're doing. So watch out for those things. Now, here's another controversial thing I'm going to talk about. And this is also going to probably piss people off because this is getting to be a very popular thing. Haunted collections. Now, probably the most famous 2 haunted collections are the Warrens Museum. That's run by Tony Spiro now. He's a good dude. It's a very cool museum. I got to actually see that whole thing. He did a Facebook Live, and I got to watch that, where he kind of walked through the whole thing and explained. It was very, very cool. And probably Zach Baggins, his thing he's doing in Vegas. Okay? So here's what I'll say about haunted collections, haunted museums. If the purpose of the museum is to take the objects, put them in a safe place, in like a blessed box where nothing's going to get out, and you keep people away from it. Okay? If the whole purpose is to isolate those objects so that they can't harm anybody anymore, 2 thumbs up. 100% cool. Awesome. That's what should be happening. If the purpose of the museum is to charge people to come to it so they can walk around all your haunted objects and do the little looky-loo thing, I ain't cool with that at all. And I'm going to tell you why. Either you're a grifter and you're full of crap. The stuff isn't dangerous, it isn't haunted. You're just trying to make money off people. Or it is dangerous and it is haunted. And in that case, why in the ever-loving hell would you ever think it was a good idea to put it on display and have the public come walk through and look at it? You are guaranteeing that people are going to get attachments. You are guaranteeing that people's lives are going to be ruined. Because if these things are haunted, if they have attachments on them, demonic or otherwise, then whatever's attached to those objects is going to reach out and touch somebody. They will attach to people as they go through. They will ruin their lives. You will cost people their lives. People will be hurt. And it is damn irresponsible to put people in that position just for a buck. Because you know how people are. They're going to want to see it. You tell people, oh, we got this dangerous haunted thing over here, and if you give me $20 or $50 or $70, whatever it is to get in some of these places, you can come see it. Well, I guarantee people are going to pay the money to come see it. Because that's human nature, man. People like to be scared. They like to see stuff like that. But the problem is they think when they're going into a museum like that it's the same thing as if they're going to a theater to see a haunted, like a horror movie, right? They want to be scared. They want to see something scary, but they want to be completely safe. But unlike a horror movie theater where you're going in and watching a movie that can't hurt you, these things can. And there's no way you can protect all these people from coming in. So that's very irresponsible, and it should not be taking place. Okay? That covers the museums, the reputable museums, that is. Now let's talk about all these people that have these haunted collections that they take with them everywhere. They go to Paracons and they do events where they bring their haunted objects. You see this all the time. You see it with haunted dolls, haunted jewelry. I've even seen haunted artwork where people bring paintings that are supposedly haunted. And they'll go to Paracons, they'll go to these events that they have. And basically, there's two different, let me explain this real quick for everybody. There's two different things. You got a Paracon, right? And usually what a Paracon is, it's an event thrown by somebody in the paranormal where you have a ton of different teams coming in. You have tables set up. And it's basically like a Comic-Con, okay, where you can walk around and you can check out all the equipment. You can check out all this evidence. You can buy stuff. You know, people have tables set up with little tchotchkes you can buy and all this kind of stuff, right? So that's a Paracon. And then you just have events that are thrown. And where it gets confusing is a lot of these teams will call them Paracons, but they're not actual Paracons. They're just an event that some team did. Now, the way this goes, a lot of people will rent the place, okay? These locations will charge money, okay? So whether it's $150, $300, whatever, they'll charge to rent the location for the night. So then you pay your $300 or whatever, and then you have the place for a night. And they'll say, okay, you give me $300 and I will allow you to come in and investigate, and you can bring 20 people or you can bring 40 people, right? A lot of times it's set, but there is some wiggle room there. You can kind of negotiate and raise the price a little bit if you want to have more people. And so then what you do is you go and you sell tickets. Okay, you say, okay, I can bring 40 people in for my $300, so I'm going to sell 40 tickets at $20 a ticket or $50 a ticket or whatever, right? So then you make back the $300 that you rented the place for plus some money. So you're getting paid to investigate. So then those people come and they can investigate with you. And then at some of these events, they will have speakers. They'll have people that will get up and give little speeches and little presentations and stuff like that. Usually it's team members, people that work at the place. Every once in a while, you'll get somebody who actually has a name that'll do it, you know, at some of the bigger events. But that's essentially what it is. Okay, that's what happens. So at these events, you will have people that are being charged to come investigate with you. So they're just doing that to make money, okay? So you got Paracons and you got events. Now, at both of those, you will have people that will come and set up tables. At the events, it's a lot less. Paracons a lot more. But these people will bring these haunted objects to these events and these Paracons and set up tables. And then the people that bought tickets to come to the thing can come over and look at them, essentially. And sometimes they'll charge you for, you know, taking pictures with the objects or something like that. They'll give me $5, you can take a picture with it, or $10, you can take a picture with it, etc. Well, the problem there is the exact same problem as the haunted museum. Okay, you've got people that cannot be protected, that are coming into contact with dangerous artifacts. Okay, if they are haunted or have attachments, you don't want the public messing with them. And if they aren't haunted and they don't have attachments, then you're just faking to make money, so you're a grifter. Okay, both ones. Like I said before, they kind of overlap. And you have both of those happening. You have people that have actual haunted objects that are putting the public at risk by showing them those objects and having them in events and Paracons. And then you have people who are pretending they have haunted objects, who are ripping people off to come see those haunted objects. Okay? Both of those things are happening. So I hope that I've given you kind of an overview tonight of a lot of the BS that's going on in the paranormal. A lot of the grifters, a lot of the fakes, the people that are lying to you. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about for my little section, then I'll throw over to Old Boy, is the drama, man, the paradrama. And this isn't coming from the experienced actual investigators, okay? The people that are out there working cases that know what the hell they're doing and have been doing it for years and years and years. The drama is coming from all these people that I talked about earlier who sit around and watch Ghost Adventures and think that they're a paranormal investigator. So then they come in and they want to make a name for themselves. So in order to make a name for themselves, they're going to try to talk bad about this person or talk bad about that person. They want to run these people down so that they can appear bigger than they are. Okay? So basically what you have is the same thing you have in high school. You have people desperately trying to be cool, so they're talking crap about other people, trying to make them look bad so that they look like they're cool. That's all it is. It's childish, it's high school behavior, and it's nonsense, and there's no place for it. But there's a lot of it. And the reason you have it is because you have a lot of these people who aren't actual investigators. They don't have any emotional attachment to the job. They're not actually out there trying to help anybody. They're just trying to look cool. Ooh, look at me, I'm a paranormal investigator. Because that's the popular thing, right? That's the thing that everybody's doing now. It's so popular on TV that now everybody wants to do it. Now, once it jumps the shark, which I think it's really close to jumping the shark because it's grown to a point to where it's just getting ridiculous, honestly. A lot of these shows are just nonsense, man. And I think it won't be too much longer before that fad kind of passes. People move on to something else. And the paranormal will kind of jump the shark. And then the only people left doing this will be the actual investigators and people that are trying to help people again. Until it becomes popular again. And then you're going to have the same problem all over again. Okay? But that's what causes a lot of that drama. Is you have these people that don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. But yet they want to tell everybody what to do. They want to try to tell everybody how to do everything. But they have no idea what they're talking about. So they are going to spout nonsense. And then when you don't listen, or you tell them they're full of crap, then they're going to attack you. And they're going to try to make everybody hate you. And they're going to call you a fake. They're going to call you a liar. They're going to call you everything that they actually are. To make themselves look more important. It's childish. It's no different than the whole woke cancel culture nonsense. It's the same exact thing. You're trying to bully people into submission because you're going to make everybody hate them. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You have no integrity. You have no knowledge. And you're a damn coward. I'm going to say it right now so everybody can hear me. You are a coward. If you got a problem with somebody, go talk to them. Handle it like a damn adult. Don't be telling tales behind people's backs, acting like a damn kid. And I see this so much it happens. I see damn good investigators that I know personally, that I have worked with, that I know are good, having their name dragged through the mud by idiots who have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Oh, but they're talking. Woo! They love to run that mouth. And they like to wear a costume and all this crap so they look like they're cool. They're morons. They have no idea what they're talking about. Nobody else is going to say that. Because they don't want to get canceled. They don't want these people to turn on them. I ain't afraid of you. I've said over and over and over again on this show, I'm going to tell the damn truth. No matter what. And that's the truth. Oh boy, go ahead, brother.
And thank you, brother. This is going to be a very kind of a controversial show, but let's try not to make it this way. I know you guys have your opinions just like us, so just remember, leave comments in the comment part of the video. It's a new show, first one of the year, so I hope you guys enjoy it. We love you guys, so just remember that. Here we go. I don't even know where to start on this one. You know what? I'm going to tell you this right now. First part, we'll get this part over. We do not charge anybody. If they need help, we'll help them. Now, if it's like in another part of the country, we would like somebody to either give us money for the trip, because it's expensive, dude. But the actual help somebody, we won't do it. If you want to pay for our gas or pay for our ticket, if it's far where it's not like down the street, yes. But charging people to help them, like $200 a house, $300 an hour, something like that. No, we don't do that. Never have, never will. That's not my thing. Charging people to help them, in my opinion, is I get it if it's like for charity or like, for gas and equipment and stuff like that. I could see that. But other than that, no. Unless you're doing it for like a job with like, the shows and stuff that, even then I have my opinions, but we'll leave it at that. No, I don't charge people. Neither does James. None of us do. We're nonprofit. I mean, if we get on TV with the show stuff, that's a whole different thing, but I still won't charge anybody. We're not faking anything. We don't do that stuff. Now, haunted objects, haunted dolls. We'll get in that in a minute about that, because I know people have been asking a lot about that and what my opinion is. And I'm going to tell you this right now, bro, and ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. Some, I believe, like the Warrens and stuff, kept collect them to get them away from the public. There's other people that are taking him to conventions, taking him on, I guess on the shows is fine to show people, but conventions and museums and all this other crap. Okay, if the thing's haunted, why would you want other people to see this stuff? And I'm not taking a shot at anybody. Don't trust me. I'm not saying this that you're fake or you're phony. Why would you want people chancing getting cursed, haunted, attached, things following them home, even though it's on them? I get it, but you're promoting that. I'm sorry. I don't, and I know James has the same opinion. I guess you want to show people artifacts and stuff like that. I get it, but you're still showing them this stuff. You got a chance of them, even if they sign waivers away and stuff like that. You're still chancing something attaching to them. And people who are faking and just to be on TV, and I'm not saying anybody in general, I'm just saying this happens, just to be famous is getting ridiculous. The pretend something is haunted or you're getting chased around or something's going to your house, and I'm not saying anybody's doing it, but it's happened. Or doing it just to be on a TV show or be famous. Here we go again. It always happens. Trust me when I tell you this. When you play with the devil, he'll play back. Trust me on that. Trust me. I know most of you don't doubt me when I say this. I know you guys have your opinions on me, some of you, and I really don't care. I have my opinions on you. But I'll say it to your face. I'll say it to anybody. If anybody wants to talk to me about what I believe in or wants to talk to me, hey, write me up, hit me up, we'll talk about it. That's all it has to be. It doesn't have to be an argument. We could just go our separate ways and agree not to agree. That's all I'm going to say. But I don't fake things. I don't go out and say I have this and this is haunted and that. I want to help people and I want to prove this stuff is real, whatever it is. We all know pretty much what it is, but we don't. We're not 100% sure. We don't know what it is, 100% is. But we got a pretty good idea. For all we know, they just like to talk on the spirit box just to play games with us, to piss us off and try to make us look like fools. Maybe it's another realm where we're at and they're just there just playing games with us. You never know, guys. Think about it that way. Think about that before if you ever thought about that, it could be a possibility. Now, conning people out of their money, having these different classes to try to teach people, that's fine if you want to do that, but I have my opinions on that. It has to be more in a couple weeks, couple months. You know what? Just because you go and get a class doesn't mean you're an expert. That's the issue I have with it. But I guess if that's how you're going to do it, you're going to do it. I'm not going to shoot on anybody's life or anything like that. I'm no one to judge anybody, and I'm not going to do that. I have my opinions, and I know James is going to say something because I already know his issues with this. We've talked about it before. I'm not going to charge anybody to be a paranormal investigator or a ghost hunter. I'll teach you for free. but I'm not going to do it in a couple weeks. Oh, hey, here you go. You're an expert. That's not me. And if you think you are because you watch Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and all these other shows, I'm going to tell you something right now. You're going to regret it. You think, I've seen it. I've dealt with this already. So is James. Some of these people, they watch these shows and they think they're experts. They're not. They get people attacked. They get themselves attacked. Bad things happen to them. Everything happens and falls apart around them. And I'm just saying this in general. It's happened to a lot of people we've dealt with on both sides of the country. And people we know over the world. It happens, guys. Trust me. Believe us. We're not just saying this stuff so we can just talk. We're telling you this to be warned. Look at me. Do I look like I care? I don't care what happens to me. I care about my team. I care about my wife who's a part of my team. I care about James. Me, I don't care. I die. Oh well. But I don't want nothing to happen to them. Hey, I don't care what happens to me. Like I said, if something happens to me, it happens to me. I don't want it happening to my teammates. I don't want nothing happening to them, and I care about their lives. I would never jeopardize anybody's life to become famous or become something. And I'm sorry, if you are, then we have a problem. You shouldn't be doing this. And if you're willing to do that, that tells me what kind of person you are. And trust me, I'm saying this in general. I'm not saying anybody does it. I'm saying it happens. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, then don't do it. Don't try to fake something to become famous. I'm going to tell you something. Karma exists in my mind. These things exist. They'll come after you for lying. Trust me. You're playing the devil's game. Trust me. And if you don't believe that, that's fine. Don't believe in it. Then why are you in this? That's what I don't understand. Why are you in this if you don't? Just to see if it's real or not? Then you do believe it. You're just scared of it. So that's all I'm going to say on that part. The love and light thing. I don't have no problem with that. The problem is you got to realize there's a fine line. If you're going to say that and then you're doing stuff to get money, I have my opinions on that too. I'm not saying everybody on love and light are bad people. Not at all. Most of them are cool. There's some people who are lying about that. They're not really about that. They're trying to make money. And I don't care what you think. I don't. Trust me, I don't care. Neither does James. You have a problem? We'll talk about it. Come on our show. We'll talk about it. I'd love to talk to you about it. Whoever it is who has a problem. We invite anybody to be on our show. As long as you're respectful, you don't cuss, you don't swear. We'll edit it out anyway. But I'm saying that if you're respectful, we'll be respectful to you. Trust me on that. Being psychic and stuff like that, I have no issues with them. I have a lot of friends who are psychics and mediums. But there's some who are lying. But this has happened before, ghost hunting. They do it on side with Psychic Network and calling people over the phone. That stuff is ridiculous. But it's always happened. It isn't just something happened. People who've been doing it for years, hundreds and thousands of years. So there's nothing to do about it. Just watch who you trust with your information. Look up their history. Look at their comments. Make sure they're not liars and they're just trying to screw you out of $100 for that, whatever they're charging, 60, 70, 50, whatever they're charging for their 30-minute thing online or whatever they're doing on face-to-face, whatever. Make sure they're legit, because some of these people are just saying this. They'll find stuff out about you. They'll look at your Facebook page. They'll look about your history. They'll tell you things, and then you'll like, oh, that's true. And they'll read your facial remarks. They can do that, man. These guys are professionals. I'm not saying everyone. There's some people who actually know what they're doing, but make sure you know who they are. Don't just trust anybody. Tarot reading cards. No problem with them. I have them all the time. Trust they know what they're doing. If they know how to really read the cards. Or they're not saying that to make another $50, $60 for 15, 20 minutes of your time. Remember that. Make sure you always investigate, study, and learn who you're dealing with. Do your history. Don't always believe everything you hear, too. Some people just don't want to hear the truth, and then they'll badmouth you. That happens all the time. If there's one or two comments, that's going to happen, guys. If it's over and over, then there's something going on. If it's more than, say that you had somebody and they have 100 comments and 50 of them are bad, there's something going on. If you have like 100 comments and 2 or 3, no, it's just somebody's pissed off and they didn't want to hear some people don't want to hear their fate. They want to run from it or they want to try to change it. You can, but there's going to be a different outcome than you think. And it may not be what you want. And then sometimes what you want may not be exactly what you get. Or you'll get what you want and it ends up being horribly wrong. Trust me on this. I live my life through chance. Things happen for reasons. Remember that. They happen all the time. I'll tell you a little bit about me and my wife, just this part, I know it's a little bit different. Me and my wife originally met in 2016. She was a friend on Facebook. We started talking. At that time, I'm not going to get into it, she was with somebody else. They had broken up. We got together for a little bit. Some things happened. Nothing bad or anything, but it was just at that time was better off for her to go back to her situation. That situation ended a year and a half later, and we've been together ever since. And we were meant to be together. You don't care what you think. It's the truth. That's how me and my wife are. And when I say stuff about my wife, I absolutely love my wife. I'm in love with my wife, and I don't want to ever be with anybody. I could never see myself marrying anybody else. If something happened to my wife, I'm done with that, ever. And, I mean, I'll never going to marry anybody again. I know people say that all the time because I said I was never going to get married. I absolutely met my soulmate. I love my wife, guys. A little bit of history so that, whoever watches new people, they find out about me and Jackie. We are considered the infamous pagan couple for a reason. There's a lot of people know who we are. I'm becoming a public figure, like James has already been with his books, but now he's becoming with paranormal and on that side of it. So, trust me, guys. We are really like this. James is really a Christian. He's not faking what he is. I'm really who I am. And my wife is too. There's no changing it. It's how we are. We love you guys one way or another. We don't judge people. You have your issues with me. I get it. That's fine. It's not going to change me. I don't care. I care what happens to people. I don't want bad things to happen, but if people deserve it, they get it. That's how I feel. That's how my religion looks at it. But back to this. If you're going to be phony and fake and try to screw people, just remember it's going to come back to you. This is stuff you shouldn't be messing with unless you know what you're doing. And no one's an expert. Everybody can have super experience, but no one's really an expert. Because there's always going to be something you never knew. It's going to get thrown at you out of nowhere. So just remember that, guys. I want you guys to listen to these shows when we tell you. I want to do something about crypto, because we haven't done anything about, Bigfoot. And maybe we're going to do something about the woolly mammoth down the next week or two, because they're talking about they're going to be able to bring it back, hopefully. That's going to be cool. We can do something on that. It's going to be, more history and crypto there. So, but I just wanted you guys to listen to the show. Please listen to what we tell you. We're not just saying this stuff to say it. We're saying it to help you guys so you don't get screwed. I know you guys love these shows. That's great. Watch them. But remember, not 100% of them are all right. They're edited. There's stuff that they're told to say. I'm not saying people are faking anything, but remember, it's not like they just sat there for 5 minutes and did all this video. It's hours and hours of footage they put together. Remember that, guys. And I know you're not stupid. Most of you guys know that. But just watch what you hear and who tells you this. And if you have problems, make sure you investigate who you're sending to your house and they know what they're doing. They're not just somebody who watched a couple shows and has any experience. No, get somebody who knows what they're doing and has experience. Don't get somebody who's just doing this as on a side thing just for fun as a hobby. I'm not trying to say you have to learn, but learn out in the graveyard, guys. Have somebody teach you. Know what you're doing. I hope you enjoyed the show on Parax Radio, 9 Pacific, 12 Eastern, Sunday nights. Tuesday nights, the Best of Show, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. If you guys enjoyed the show, please subscribe to James Hershey's YouTube page. Follow us always on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We're on there too. Check us out. Tell us what you think. Tell us shows you would like us to do. Give us ideas. Leave comments. You want merchandise? We have a store. Buy shirts. All kinds of cool stuff. It'll tell you where to go. I hope you guys have a good year. It's a brand new year, 2023. And our 6-year anniversary has just started. So, dude, we have so much coming up, guys. And I can't wait. I love you. Blessed be. And have a good night. Misfits, Sugar Ladies, Monster Livers, and Demon Hunters. We love you. And have a good night.
Thank you, brother. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hope y'all liked it. I hope that you learned something. I think we pretty well covered a lot of the problems in the paranormal and a lot of these fakes and liars and grifters and drama queens. I think we kind of covered everybody. And I think we did a pretty good job of really not naming names that much, and at least not in a defamatory way. I think we did pretty good there. And that's important to me because, yeah, I'll call you out. You know what I mean? I'll talk about it. But I have no desire to try to ruin anybody's name or do anything like that unless they're actively hurting somebody. You know, if you're actively hurting somebody, then, yeah, we're going to have a problem. But I think we covered it pretty well, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope that satisfies all of you people that have sent us messages asking for this show. Want to know our thoughts on it. And if we believe that haunted collections are real, if we believe that they should be exhibited to the public and all that kind of stuff, I hope that we kind of covered all that really good for you. Shameless plug time. YouTube channel, youtube.com/James Hershey Jr. If you are on YouTube watching me right now, how you doing? Hello. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, please. And that little notification bell thingy, so it tells you when I post, I guess. I don't know. I don't know too much about how YouTube works. I know I'm on YouTube. I make YouTube videos. But I don't know the nuts and bolts of it too much. But please subscribe and enjoy the channel. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. If you're listening on the radio, YouTube channel, go check it out. Subscribe, man. There's like 1,000 videos or more. There's a ton of stuff there. And it's all 100% free. It's awesome. You can watch every episode of Tales, every episode of Staring, every episode of Paranormal News. There's tons of stuff there for you. Go and check it out. Subscribe. The merchandise store, the link to that is in the description box of every YouTube video. If you'd like to support the show and support our work, great way to do so. Good prices, good quality, and it's there for you if you want it. If you don't want to buy merch, then don't. That's cool. Doesn't matter. I do this for free, so it doesn't matter to me. You know, the merch money and all that kind of stuff just helps us when we do investigations, helps pay for gas for some of the people that don't have as much money and those kind of things, you know. So if you want to support. If you don't want to support and you just want to watch for free, thanks anyway. I appreciate you watching, and you're welcome to keep watching. If you have any shows you want to see, leave them in the comments, and we'll try to work them for you. Thank y'all. We love you. We appreciate you. And until we speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do we. Bye-bye.